Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a cornerstone of modern medical affairs, data generation. This topic is not just critical, it's transformational in shaping the way we create value for healthcare stakeholders. By the end of this session, you'll understand what data generation entails and also why it's essential, what types of data medical affairs teams can generate, and the skills required to excel in this area. Let's start by defining data generation in the context of medical affairs. At its core, data generation refers to the process of collecting, analyzing, and disseminating evidence to address unmet medical needs, support clinical decisions, and demonstrate the value of therapeutic interventions. For medical affairs, this isn't just about running studies or publishing results. It's about generating actionable insights that resonate with stakeholders, from healthcare providers to payers and patients. What about the types of data medical affairs can generate? This isn't just about numbers or reports. It's about creating insights that serve distinct purposes and drive meaningful outcomes across the healthcare ecosystem. Allow me to walk you through the main categories so we can connect the dots on how each type plays a critical role. First, we have clinical data, which is foundational to understanding how treatments perform in the real world. Think about real-world evidence. This comes from patient registries, electronic health records, or even claims databases, providing insights into how therapies work outside of controlled clinical trials. Then there's post-marketing surveillance, where we monitor long-term safety and effectiveness after a product is launched. This ensures that even years after approval, the therapy continues to meet its promises. And let's not forget health outcomes research, which focuses on what truly matters to patients: their quality of life, treatment satisfaction, and the outcomes they personally value. Moving on to scientific data, this is where the science behind treatments takes center stage. Mechanism of action studies dive deep into how a drug works at the cellular or molecular level, giving us the why behind the results we see. Similarly, biomarker discovery helps identify predictive or prognostic indicators, enabling us to tailor treatments more effectively. These studies not only advance science but also guide personalized medicine strategies. Next is health economic data, which answers the critical question: is this treatment worth it? Here, cost-effectiveness studies help us compare the costs and outcomes of various treatments, ensuring that we're investing in solutions that deliver real value. Add to that budget impact models, which provide payers with insights into the financial implications of adopting a new therapy. Together, they create a compelling case for why a treatment should or should not be prioritized. Now, let's explore competitor and market data. This is where medical affairs can sharpen its strategic edge. Through market insights, we gain a clear picture of the competitive landscape and unmet needs, enabling us to position our therapies more effectively. We also gather stakeholder perceptions, capturing feedback from healthcare providers and payers about product positioning and therapeutic gaps. This isn't just about staying ahead, it's about meeting the needs of our stakeholders with precision. Finally, in today's digital world, we can't overlook digital and behavioral data. Patient engagement metrics from health apps and digital platforms show how engaged patients are with their treatments, whether through adherence reminders or education tools. Meanwhile, behavioral trends give us insights into prescribing patterns and patient preferences, ensuring that our strategies align with real-world behaviors. When you look at these categories, clinical, scientific, economic, market, and digital, you realize they're not isolated. Together, they create a 360-degree view of the healthcare landscape, empowering medical affairs to drive innovation, inform decisions, and ultimately improve patient outcomes. Each type of data tells a part of the story, but when combined, they deliver a narrative that truly resonates. Let's dive into why data generation is no longer optional, but a cornerstone of medical affairs in today's dynamic world. This transformation from a supporting function to a strategic driver has been profound, and at the center of it lies the ability to generate meaningful, high-quality data. Allow me to explain how this shift is shaping the role of medical affairs and why data is the foundation of this evolution. There are 5 main reasons. 1. Building credibility. Credibility is everything in healthcare. Today's stakeholders, whether healthcare providers, payors, or regulators, demand evidence to support decisions. They aren't just looking for claims, they need proof. When medical affairs generates robust, high-quality data, it elevates the function from a supportive role to a trusted scientific authority. Think of it this way: every piece of real-world evidence, every post-marketing analysis, and every patient outcome study you generate adds another brick to the foundation of credibility. In a landscape where evidence-based decisions are paramount, this credibility is what sets leaders apart. 2. Fulfilling unmet needs. Clinical trials are the gold standard for drug approval, but they have limitations. Controlled settings often exclude diverse patient populations or fail to address real-world variables like comorbidities or socioeconomic factors. This is where medical affairs steps in with data generation. Real-world evidence and health economic studies answer questions that trials alone cannot. For example, how does a treatment perform in elderly patients with multiple conditions? Or how do socioeconomic disparities affect adherence? Generating this kind of data doesn't just fill gaps, it answers the critical questions that matter most to patients and providers. 3. Supporting access and reimbursement. Securing access and reimbursement for therapies is a growing challenge. Regulatory bodies and payers are no longer satisfied with clinical efficacy alone. They demand comprehensive health economic data to justify the value of a treatment. Data generation is critical in meeting these demands. By providing cost-effectiveness analyses, budget impact models, and other economic insights, medical affairs enables therapies to clear these barriers. This isn't just about market access. It's about ensuring patients can actually benefit from the innovations being developed. 4. Driving innovation data doesn't just validate, it also inspires. By uncovering patterns, identifying gaps, and revealing new opportunities, data generation drives innovation in ways that are transformative. For instance, post-marketing studies might highlight an unexpected benefit of a therapy, opening the door to new indications. Or real-world evidence could uncover trends that spark the development of entirely new therapeutic approaches. This is why data isn't just a tool, it's a catalyst for progress, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in medical science. 5. Enhancing stakeholder engagement. When medical affairs professionals bring data-driven insights to their interactions with healthcare providers, it transforms the conversation. You're no longer just sharing information, you're offering value. Imagine presenting real-world evidence, showing how a therapy improved adherence rates in a similar patient population, or sharing economic models that help providers understand the cost-benefit ratio of a treatment. These kinds of insights don't just inform, they build trust, strengthen relationships, and position medical affairs as a key partner in improving patient care. That is to say that the bigger picture tells us that data generation isn't just about numbers or reports, it's about creating actionable insights that drive better decisions, improve patient outcomes, and shape the future of healthcare. It allows medical affairs to navigate a complex landscape where credibility, relevance, and trust are essential. In today's world, where expectations are higher than ever, the ability to generate meaningful data is what transforms medical affairs into a strategic leader and a true driver of innovation. Let's explore the key skills required to excel in data generation within medical affairs. Each skill plays a critical role in ensuring that the data generated is meaningful, actionable, and impactful. These aren't just technical abilities, they are the foundation of a strategic, innovative approach to data that drives healthcare forward. Let's start with the cornerstone: scientific and analytical expertise. Generating meaningful data begins with a deep understanding of clinical trial methodologies and statistical analysis. Why is this so important? Because interpreting data accurately ensures that the insights derived are both valid and reliable. Imagine you're working on a post-marketing surveillance study. Without expertise in statistical methods, like regression analysis or confidence intervals, it would be nearly impossible to draw meaningful conclusions about the safety and effectiveness of a treatment. This skill ensures that the data generated withstands scrutiny and contributes to evidence-based decision-making. In essence, it's the backbone of credibility in data generation. 2. Digital literacy. In today's world, data generation often involves leveraging digital tools. From patient registries and mobile health apps to wearable technologies, the ability to harness these tools effectively is critical. Digital literacy is no longer optional, it's essential. Consider this: wearable devices can monitor patient adherence to treatment in real time. If you're familiar with these technologies, you can integrate this data into your analysis, offering insights that were previously unattainable. Understanding how to navigate and optimize these digital platforms not only enhances data collection, but also broadens the scope of what medical affairs can achieve. It's about making data collection smarter, faster, and more comprehensive. 3. Health economics knowledge. Health economics has become a crucial component of data generation, particularly when addressing access and reimbursement challenges. Understanding concepts like cost-effectiveness models, quality-adjusted life years, QLYs, and budget impact analyses is vital. For instance, when generating data for a cost-effectiveness study, you need to calculate the incremental cost of a new therapy compared to existing treatments. Without knowledge of health economics, these calculations could lack precision, potentially undermining your argument for a therapy's value. This skill bridges the gap between clinical efficacy and real-world applicability, ensuring that your data resonates with payers and policymakers. 4. Collaboration and communication. Data generation is not a siloed activity. It requires seamless collaboration across multiple teams. Whether you're working with R&D, marketing, or external stakeholders like healthcare providers, effective collaboration ensures the relevance and applicability of the data you generate. Let's take an example. You're involved in generating real-world evidence for a therapy. The data you collect must align with the needs of marketing teams who are crafting messaging, as well as with regulatory teams preparing submission dossiers. Clear communication and collaboration ensure that the data is not only robust, but also strategically aligned with organizational objectives. It's about creating synergy across functions to maximize the impact of your data. And number 5, and very important, is strategic thinking, the skill that ties everything together. Data generation is not just about collecting information. It's about collecting the right information. Strategic thinking helps you align data generation efforts with both organizational goals and stakeholder needs. For example, imagine your organization is preparing to launch a new therapy. A strategically minded approach to data generation would involve anticipating the types of questions payers might ask, such as long-term cost effectiveness or real-world safety data. By aligning your data generation efforts with these priorities, you ensure that your work supports broader organizational objectives while addressing stakeholder concerns. Each of these skills, scientific expertise, digital literacy, health economics knowledge, collaboration, and strategic thinking, plays a distinct yet interconnected role in data generation. Together, they empower medical affairs professionals to generate data that is not only accurate, but also relevant, actionable, and impactful. In a world where the demand for evidence-based insights continues to grow, mastering these skills is no longer optional, it's essential. By honing these abilities, medical affairs professionals can drive innovation, build credibility, and ensure that their work makes a meaningful difference in healthcare. And now, let's discuss the challenges faced in data generation, a process that, while incredibly valuable, comes with its share of complexities. Addressing these hurdles is essential for ensuring that the data medical affairs generates is not only meaningful but also ethically sound, compliant, and actionable. There are 5 main challenges. 1. Regulatory constraints. Navigating the intricate web of global and local regulations is one of the most significant challenges in data generation. Every region has its own rules governing data collection, storage, and dissemination. This means that what's permissible in one country may be restricted in another, creating a maze of compliance requirements. For example, in Europe, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, demands stringent measures to protect patient data, while other regions may have less stringent regulations. Medical affairs teams must balance these regulatory differences while ensuring data integrity and compliance. Failure to do so could result in fines, reputational damage, or even the invalidation of data, making this a critical hurdle to overcome. 2. Data quality and relevance. Another key challenge is ensuring that the data collected is both accurate and relevant. Generating high-quality data requires meticulous planning, from identifying the right data sources to designing robust methodologies for collection and analysis. Consider this. If you're conducting a real-world evidence study, inaccuracies in patient records or incomplete data sets can compromise the validity of your findings. Irrelevant data, on the other hand, can waste resources and dilute the impact of your efforts. Overcoming this challenge demands a clear focus on planning and rigorous validation processes to ensure that the data collected meets the highest standards. The third challenge is the resource limitations. Resource constraints often pose a significant barrier to effective data generation. Limited budgets can restrict access to advanced tools, cutting-edge technologies, or specialized expertise needed to execute complex studies. For instance, generating high-quality health economic data may require access to sophisticated modeling tools and skilled analysts. Without these resources, medical affairs teams may struggle to produce data that meets the expectations of stakeholders. Addressing this challenge often requires innovative thinking, strategic prioritization, and collaboration to make the most of available resources. 4. Ethical considerations. Ethics are a cornerstone of data generation, and ensuring patient privacy and transparency in data collection and use is non-negotiable. In an era where data breaches and misuse are major concerns, maintaining trust is critical. Imagine collecting patient-reported outcomes for a health outcomes study. If patients feel their privacy is not adequately protected or their data might be misused, they may hesitate to participate. Ensuring robust safeguards, clear consent processes, and transparent communication about how data will be used are vital to navigating this challenge. And finally, number 5, the stakeholder expectations. Meeting the diverse and sometimes conflicting needs of various stakeholders, healthcare providers, payors, regulatory bodies, and patients can be daunting. Each group has its own priorities and perspectives, and aligning data generation efforts with these expectations requires skill and strategy. For example, healthcare providers might prioritize clinical efficacy, while payors focus on cost effectiveness, and patients emphasize quality of life. Balancing these perspectives and ensuring that the data generated addresses all relevant needs is a complex but essential task. Clear communication, stakeholder engagement, and adaptability are key to overcoming this challenge. While these 5 challenges are significant, they are not insurmountable. With strategic planning, collaboration, and a commitment to excellence, medical affairs teams can navigate these hurdles effectively. By addressing regulatory requirements, maintaining data quality, optimizing resources, upholding ethical standards, and engaging stakeholders, they can ensure that the data generated drives meaningful change in healthcare. To wrap up this session, let's say that data generation is a core competency and a strategic imperative for medical affairs. Mastering this capability places you and your organization at the forefront of a healthcare landscape where evidence is the foundation of decision-making. Robust data generation empowers medical affairs to enhance patient outcomes, support access and reimbursement strategies, and drive innovation, making it an indispensable pillar of modern medical strategies. Please refer to the Sky Health Academy website for more details and sessions where we explore specific methodologies for data generation and examine real-world case studies that highlight its transformative impact. For now, take a moment to reflect on how you can further develop and refine your skills in this area. Remember, data generation isn't merely about collecting information. It's about applying that data to create meaningful change and advance both patient care and organizational goals. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session.